What's up guys, I'm Jeep and Bubba, and today we're at Iron Mountain. We are shooting a video on this 2013 Jeep Wrangler 10th anniversary edition Rubicon that we built at our shop, Black Bear Off-Road. Also referred to as Nate's Jeep. So we have some unique customers that'll come to us and trust us with a bone stock Jeep and let us build it basically from the ground up. This one has a very specific plan in mind that we had to solve some serious issues. So it's being used to film in remote locations, and it had a lot of different needs that we had to meet for it to be able to do that. First, we're going to start with the front of this Jeep. So our unique feature right off the bat is this Crawltech Inferno frame chop bumper. That's going to give you a lot better approach angle. It's a nice tight package, but yet it still has room for this large Warn 10S winch. So we got synthetic line on here, and staying in the same family, the Factor 55 Fairlead and the Factor 55 Ultra Hook. So that's going to be quality recovery gear right there. And then to kind of match it and make it all look good, the blacked out grille with the matching 10th anniversary badging from Jeep. So people often ask me, what is the first mod I need to do to my Jeep? And my first suggestion is always upgrade the lights. Jeep basically provides you with horse and carriage lanterns. So the first upgrade was the KC Gravity Series lights, and then the Recon turn signals. These are going to give you a lot more projection so you can see what you're doing at night and make things a lot more safe and visible. And then if you look up top, something unique that you don't see on every Jeep is the Starlink. This is going to give internet basically in remote places in the country, pretty much out here in the middle of the woods. You can connect, edit, get the things you need right from the internet. If there is an issue out on the trail, this is a great safety feature where they're able to actually connect and make communications. A lot of folks have used satellite phones and Garmin's over the years. This is actually a much easier way to do that. Shoot messages back and forth. It's absolutely a great safety feature to have. Fun fact about this Jeep Wrangler, it's got this 10th anniversary hood, which was the first time they introduced this hood and the only Jeep you could get this hood on. So gives it a nice aggressive look and something that's unique to this vehicle. All right, so we're gonna look under the hood now. It's a basic standard issue 3.6 Pentastar, nothing too crazy, but we've done some upgrades that are gonna be super helpful for us. So first and foremost, the oil filter housing. These things wanna leak. The plastic ones from the factory, not a good deal. So we upgraded them with the dormant aluminum housing, which should last the test of time. You know, we've got a lot of electronics in this vehicle, got the Starlink, got to charge batteries, things like that. So the battery got upgraded to an Odyssey, as well as upgrading the alternator to a JS alternator, 350 amp with a big 3 setup. So basically you got larger gauge power and ground wires going through that. So we got plenty of power to charge up. And then to finish it off, we did a twin ARB compressor so we can air up tires. The ARB compressor also is super helpful to spray off cameras. You can basically use a little air tool and blow off cameras, get the dust off, things like that, and used a more mount underneath here, which is just a clean mount right above the brake reservoir. Super easy to get to. Nice, tidy little engine. It's got everything we need for this job. So one thing I like to add about the alternator is that what do we see on a lot of these builds is a lot of lights, winches, a lot of different electronic components that are gonna have a draw, and the factory alternator and the factory battery are not necessarily set up for those things. So I could see a lot of different vehicles needing and wanting to use this exact upgrade. So now we're gonna cover the front driveline. This is gonna be a key component because we can't have breakdowns, we can't have a weak front end. So went with the ultimate Dana 44. It's not just your regular Dana 44, it's got thicker housings, thicker mounts, everything about it is going to be stronger. And to match that strength, it's got 488 gears and an Eaton E-locker. So we're not just 2-wheel drive out here, we're actually able to lock up and get through some obstacles. On top of that, Made in the USA, steer smarts, 1-ton steering. This is a huge upgrade over factory steering and a component that's often overlooked. You get bigger tires, more weight. You need to upgrade that steering and avoid that death wobble. And speaking of which, we've upgraded to the Fox ATS stabilizer. This is gonna be your best stabilizer on the market and the best thing that Fox makes to help you with that. So on top of that, we have the Spicer 1350 drive shafts. This is going to be a much stronger drive shaft over the factory, but not to mention it being stronger, it's actually a narrower design, so you don't have to worry about it hitting your exhaust like the factory one does when you lift these vehicles up. All right, now we're going to talk about the suspension. So we want this to be a great off-road vehicle, but it also has to do a lot of on-road miles. It goes cross-country all the time. So went with the JKS J-Crawl kit that has the JKS dual rate springs. This is going to give you both good on and off-road riding, and to pair that, went with Fox 2.5s. These are adjustable, so if you want to soften them up for the road and firm them up for off-road, you got that ability. It's a great shock, super strong, can pretty much handle anything. On top of that, we deleted the factory Rubicon disconnect and went with a regular style sway bar with a JKS quick disconnect. So you can manually disconnect whenever you want to and don't have to worry if the electronics are gonna fail or work for you that particular day. On top of that, when we're flexing, we're gonna have issues with the factory brake lines not being long enough. So we upgraded to some BDS stainless steel brake lines. And then the best part of this thing is going to be those J-Crawl control arms. They're fully adjustable, they have flex ends, they're greasable, and they have lifetime warranties on them, so you know you have good peace of mind with those arms. It's going to add a lot more flex and also the ability to set your pinion angle, caster, things like that. So as we're moving back on the vehicle, we're going to show you a couple things. We've got the KBD fenders. So this has to be the easiest fender on the market for us to install, but not only that, with its design, it can go up against a tree and reform its shape. It's actually a great price point and gives us the added clearance that we need for these tires. Speaking of which, we went with a 37-inch Nitto Trail Grappler and then a 17-inch Mammoth wheel. The customer on this one looks at this wheel as a consumable, so something that's going to constantly hit rocks, potentially get bent or crack. So we wanted something that was affordable but still had a nice color that matched the vehicle. We were able to use a Jeep center cap, so kind of keep that Jeep Mopar theme look. And then to match the fenders, Crawltech inner fenders here, because when you do an aftermarket fender, it just doesn't look complete or clean when you cut your factory plastic one, and Crawltech makes a fantastic product. It also gave us a place to kind of sneak in the reservoir for the Fox shock. It's got some nice venting, powder coated, e-coated, great product here in the front. All right, so as we come along the side, you're gonna see something extremely unique and rare at this point, and that's the best top core doors. So everyone always asks, where can I get those doors? And you're gonna have to start sending some letters, writing in the mail and say, hey, Best Top, bring these doors back, because they don't make them anymore and they look fantastic. You're able to actually customize the color, you can do wrap on them, you can paint them, do whatever, but it gives you a great trail door that you can put uppers in, that sort of thing. And then to give us some protection, we did the Crawltech body cladding and rock sliders. You've got a couple options on how you want to mount the body claddings. This one is with nut certs, and so it's going to be the stronger option for sure. And then you can see it ties in all the way to the frame and gives you a slider as you go down. And then just going along the side of the vehicle, we've got a Jeep Mopar, basically factory looking gas cap. As we move to the back of the vehicle, you can see we have upgraded to LED taillights, and something unique you can see as well is the Excessive Industries rear tag light mount as well as the Rotopax mount. So getting rid of the spare, saving a little weight, but the nice part is we've actually got some gas cans on the back. And a lot of times, not taking a jab at these overlanders, these are just accessories, but the customer actually uses these quite often when on the trail he either runs out of gas or the vehicle he's filming runs out of gas, or they just want to make sure they're going to make it back to the parking lot. This is a great option. They're 2 3-gallon Rotopax cans, so 6 gallons total. And then you can notice that we don't have a big hunk and bumper hangout. We have a Crawltech Inferno frame chop. So again, cutting the frame, tucking that up, helping with the departure angle, but not to mention that it is just a clean line along the back. And then underneath is a Spicer's Ultimate Dana 60 semi-float, again matching gears, E-lockers, a huge upgrade over the factory 44, and then the Dana Spicer drive shaft to match. And when you move the tag to the middle of the vehicle, there's gonna be a hole sitting right here, and a lot of people just put a little blank cutout, hide up the hole, but you know, we want to be a little different, and we've got a bottle opener right on the back. Never know when you're going to need you know, have a carbonated water on the trail. So as we move to interior, of course you're going to notice this 10th anniversary Rubicon red leather. This is a super unique interior to it, and you're going to see that we matched it up with this rock hard 4x4 cage. Now this is a great safety feature. It's going to give you, especially above head, some safety where the factory cage cannot keep you safe. It's going to strengthen everything here, but the main idea of it was actually to mount lights, cameras, different things that we're going to need for shooting. It gives us a couple different points to do that. And then, you know, just to go through and give us some more entertainment, we've got the Sony head unit, which if you've ever seen the factory radio in this, it's just a tiny screen. This brings it up to the modern era, and to go with that is premium kicker speakers throughout. A couple other things on the back side of the interior here are these Rockworks quick pins, basically getting rid of the factory Torx bolts to remove your hardtop. It's gonna save you a lot of time. You're not gonna have to dig in a bag and find a tool, but also the factory ones tend to strip and give you issues. They're hard to reach. So this one's as easy as grabbing and twisting, and the same thing for going back. And of course it's red to match everything else that we've done. And they also work great for tie down points. If you've got gears sliding back and forth, you can see, you can just stick your little bungee across there, ratchet strap, what have you, and it'll get the job done. So a couple essentials in the back. Start with this Eaton GC 1800L. This is an electric power generator. So it does a couple different things. One, you got a nice handy LED light on the front, but the main thing is it's a power source. So you can charge batteries, any equipment that's on trail. It gives you a great peace of mind that that essential piece of equipment that's relying on power is gonna have the ability to get charged back up. And then if you happen to run it down out of battery, which is gonna be difficult because of the size, you've got a nice solar panel that's deployable in the back. Lay it out in sun, charge this thing right back up. It's super convenient. And then right next to me here, the Factor 55 recovery bag, full of great goodies to get you unstuck. Every Jeep should have a recovery bag, and this kit is awesome because it comes with everything you need. It's a good looking bag and a quality brand. And then of course, just a little molly bag in the back with first aid, because you just never know. So as you can see, we had a lot of different problems to solve, because not only is this a fun recreational vehicle, but it's also something that has to be used in a 9-to-5 scenarios, shooting videos in remote locations, and it also has to get to those locations as well as going off-road to get to the different shoots. So it's a great thing when you have a customer that has a vision, wants to get a vehicle built very specifically, and we were able to use reputable brands to solve the problems that we had and come out with something that can do exactly what they planned. I appreciate you guys watching it. Hopefully you like this video. Please like and subscribe. We'll be seeing you. And don't forget, eat your prunes.